without sounding self-righteous, let's talk a little bit about this. What do you bring to the table? Is not usually the kind of question we hear amongst Christians. At least we think it's not supposed to be. Let's look at it for a little bit. When your son, let's say, is getting married, is there something you're going to be looking out for? You want him to marry a Christian. Now, when your son is marrying a Christian, what are you looking out for? What does a Christian come with to show that this person is a Christian? That's what they're bringing to the table. Of course, if they're a Christian as opposed to marrying somebody who's not a Christian, there is something they're bringing to the table that the other person is not. So it becomes a question that I don't know why we try to avoid it. Boys ask themselves, men ask themselves. They may not put it in those very words, but it's like, who am I marrying? What does she do for me? What does she do to me? In other words, how do I feel around her? Does she do anything for my mind? Does she help my psyche? All manner of questions that they ask themselves before they make a decision that, okay, this is going to be my bride. Then when the Bible says a help that is meet for him, what does it mean? In other words, let's put it in modern day parlance, a help that is suitable for him. And what is that suitability? What does that suitability entail? First and foremost, I'd like to speak about prayer. A woman who prays is a powerful woman. A prayerful woman is a woman who is not likely to be fearful. And that's a lot to bring to the table. A woman who takes matters to God in prayer is a woman who is pragmatic, who, when faced with life situations or circumstances, instead of going under or being fearful, gets proactive. This is what I'm going to do about this. What can be done about this? And then you get to doing something. You take it to the Lord in prayer, which is a major thing to do. Such a person is somebody who has a bit of an understanding of what life entails. Somebody who has sat down and asked themselves, what does this life entail? For them to take matters to the Lord in prayer, they have a certain level of understanding. Now, that's something major to bring to the table. A lot of the time we say, oh, we want a Christian. When I was getting married, for instance, I was a Christian woman, but I wasn't that prayerful. I was the sort of person who would say prayers when I'm supposed to say prayers, But that warfare kind of praying wasn't something I was used to. But I was a Christian. It's something I had to learn after I got married, up until the point where I knew how to apply it, when I was going through any situation, any particular trial and test, situation. So it becomes something that is desirable. You want a woman or a man to bring that to the table. My husband, for instance, was prayerful, and that was very comforting. But the thing about it was, I used to think he is a prayer warrior. He is a priest of the home. I didn't imagine that I had any priestly part to play or any major praying part to play. I mean, I have the children to take care of. I have the home to take care of. I have our meals to cook. I have, as long as I was concerned, that was a lot in 24 hours. So within those 24 hours, let me face all of that and let him face. And then I will say the regular prayers that I usually say, but let him face the major ones. I never imagined that it was something that was required of me, that it was something for me to bring to the table. This prayerfulness thing, this scheduled warfare prayer matter. It wasn't something that I was bringing to the table at the time I was getting married. And that's something to bring to the table. So what are we bringing to the table? Are we bringing fruit of the Spirit? Are we grown? Have we allowed ourselves grow in the fruit of the Spirit? Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Because when you are marrying a Christian woman, naturally expect that, she will have character. Now, what does that character entail? It entails love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. A woman who understands that. And that is not something you snap and become. It's something you grow into, in the place of prayer, as the Lord teaches you, as the Lord grooms you. What are we bringing to the table to show that we're ready for marriage? What are we bringing to the table in our marriages? If you've never given it a thought, it's time to give it a thought. What have you brought to the table? And the truth is, it is within you. It's not something that is beyond you. So if you haven't become that person, I implore you, it is important for yourself, for your spouse, for your children, that you become that person who schedules prayer. If something comes to your mind over the course of the day, and it bothers you, take it down in your journal. It becomes a prayer point, and take it to the Lord in prayer. Don't keep sweeping things under the carpet. Oh, okay, this one is a pass. Stop short, take it down one way or the other, and then remember to schedule it and take it to the Lord in prayer. And that's how you enrich your prayer journal and enrich your prayer time with matters to do with your life on a daily basis. So that's part of what we bring to the table. I needed to touch on that. God bless.